Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll start with you, Dr. Radetsky, and know that I was on my phone to make certain my two daughters who are raising a 4-year-old and two 2-year-olds were listening. So you're speaking to them and to the American people when I ask you these questions, Dr. Radetsky. How much of a threat is this to children? Or maybe said a different way, is there a greater threat to the children of the United States of America than the topic we're discussing today?
It is in the top threats. I would say poverty, trauma.
But all those things are related, right? Because if you don't have a childhood that allows you to learn and develop,
Right.
you probably aren't going to be in a good situation to be set up for the future either, right?
Yes, and all of these interact too. So if you have highly stressed families who don't have enough resources, they often over-rely on technology, both for managing kids as well as for learning. And so there's often more privileged families are able to have more boundaries and find more high-quality tech products. So I do worry that because it is so ubiquitous, it is interconnected with so many parts of childhood now that it really does feed it. And it's something that's modifiable. It's something that you can regulate and that you can peel back in some ways when it is not supporting youth development.
Right. And Mrs. Shurkin, you're on the same page with me when the question was asked about the age for social media, because I think we're dancing around the problem here. When we say that we have social media as an issue, well, why would we allow social media for minors? And we have a very strict definition in this country what it means to be a minor. You have to be 18 years old. So could you even remotely make the case, Mrs. Shurkin, for anybody under the age of 18 to be allowed to access social media?
I mean, no, I don't believe it's needed. I think it's becomes a social pressure, especially if you pick 16, it's the middle of high school. So you're saying no to the pre-16, but yes to the over, and how confusing that will be and difficult in a multi-age school environment.
And 13 is even worse, because now you're talking about middle school. So the point being that it's easier to just say writ large, under the age of 18, you can't use social media, because there is all kinds of problems in all these platforms. And we can dance around it, we can say you can do this or that or the other, but at the end of the day, we don't allow children to smoke.
Agreed.
That's not controversial. There's nobody, well, maybe a few lobbies that are saying that children should have access to cigarettes. But almost this is worse than the cigarettes for this generation.
It is a health-harming
At least it's visible.
product.
A parent can see, hey, my child is smoking a cigarette, I'm going to stop that behavior. You may not be able to see what they're seeing on social media. And it's almost the same kind of reaction. Like if you look at people who have addiction issues, when you remove what they have, they go through withdrawal. We understand that. We see that same kind of behavior on children who are given iPads. They're on an iPad for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. I would disagree that that's a demographic issue. I have plenty of friends that have plenty of resources that park their kids in a corner with an iPad. So, but then you try to take the iPad away and the kids resemble withdrawal symptoms. Do you see that, Ms. Shurkin?
Yes, these are health-harming products. They trigger reactions in people that are, and especially in children that are unsafe. And I believe that it is in the best interest of all children to limit their access.
So definitely 18 years old, under 18, no social media. That means no AI.
Correct.
And it makes our jobs a lot easier. It's just simple. Over 18, you're an adult. We have a universal understanding that once you're an adult, you are treated differently in the
Right.
nature of laws. And Dr. Horvath, from your perspective, does the same kind of logic not apply to smartphones, where if you're a child, why would you have access to a smartphone that then just makes it more complicated for the parent to have that discussion?
Yeah, I struggle to find any reasons anyone would need social media or a smartphone, but I could see why as adults do your thing. But before 18, if you have, the only argument you say is I need to get a hold of my kid. Flip phone or the school phone. There's a phone at the front of the school that's been working for 100 years. Go to there.
Yeah, I mean, Senator Schmidt mentioned he's Gen X, so am I. We were the last feral generation in America. They had to send ads on TV to remind our parents to think about where we were after 10 p.m.,
Yeah.
right? Do you know where your child is? Oh, geez. Now we track them. I'll finish with you, Dr. Twenge. Why would we, knowing how existential a threat this is to our children, and we fund from the federal level schools, why would we just not say, If a school allows children to have access to phones, you shouldn't have federal funding because you're going to cost us a lot more money in the long run. I think the point being, don't the four of you think at the end of the day, given the weight of this conversation, that we need to be much bolder in the approach to fix this and not be incremental? Social media has been around for 20 years. 20 years ago, we could have a conversation about, well, what will this do? We know what it does today. I'll let you have the final word, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Exactly. And those types of solutions that are not incremental seem to work better. The no phones during the school day, not just during instructional time. So the kids are talking to each other at lunch, for example. There's reports that in schools where they institute that, they're checking out books from the library when they never used to do that. And to your point about 18 for social media, one strong argument for that is when you sign up for a social media account, you have to consent to give away your data. What other contract do we allow 17 and unders to sign? You have to get parental permission to go across the street on a field trip if you're not 18 yet we allow 13-year-olds to sign away their data on social media apps.